I don't need politicians to state things. I need politicians to do things. When I met with Kamala Harris after she summoned me, I said to her straight up, you talk out two sides of your neck and we don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kamala Harris who's trying to shut me the fuck up. Because I told her straight up that I feel like she is disingenuous in her messaging.
Welcome back, warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Today, I've got some Amanda Seales, guys. Yes, I don't know if you're familiar with Amanda Seales, but she used to be one of the hosts on the talk show host, The Real. It was The Real. She's very woke, extremely woke, guys. She really is. And I don't know if you're familiar with her or not, but you can look her up. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you all so much for helping me reach 40,000 subscribers. I'm now almost at 46,000 at the time of this recording. By the time I get this video up and loaded and everything, I should be well over 46,000. I really appreciate your help. Now, let's get into it.
Put in clips of Kamala Harris stating things. I don't need politicians to state things. I need politicians to do things. When I met with Kamala Harris after she summoned me, I said to her straight up, you talk out two sides of your neck and we don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kamala Harris who's trying to shut me the fuck up. Because I told her straight up that I feel like she is disingenuous in her messaging. And she said to me, well, you're being too critical. And I said, I am a voter. I'm supposed to be critical. That's my job. And I want to see actions. She said, well, how am I supposed to talk about racism in America without calling Americans racist? I said, well, first of all, there are many racist Americans, but there's also policy, legislation, institution, and systems that are racist that need to be addressed. They need to be addressed. And if you're not going to do that in an actualized way, and in a loud, bold way, people will never really know where you're coming from. Well, you can't tell me how I feel. So I'm not telling you how you feel. I'm telling you how you sound. I'm telling you how you sound. Okay? The truth is that you should always question your source and what are their intentions. And what you all need to know is that I don't need to do any of this. I don't need to talk about any of this.
Yes, that was Amanda Seales. Again, she used to be a host on The Real talk show, and she's very woke. She's very liberal. And I think that the thing about liberals is, and I'm going to try to be more, considerate of people who are lost in wokeism, because I do feel like it's some sort of mental slavery, because the focus is always on someone oppressing us. It's always, the focus is on, racism. The focus is always on that. The focus is like, we can't get ahead unless these systems that are in place are corrected. I don't think there are actual systems in place. So when a conservative person says there is no such thing as systemic racism, they're not saying that there's absolutely no racism. They're saying that there's no racism that can actually keep you down. If you have God on your side and you work hard, there's nothing actually that can keep you down. But the people on the left are entrenched into this. There is racism. We're being oppressed. And if you tell them you're not being oppressed, we have to be careful not to get into those conversations, because people are passionate and How we feel is how we feel, and we should just let them be. Just let them be. For the first time listening to Amanda Seales, I could see her hurt. I could feel it. And I don't agree with her politics. I'm just going to be honest, but I respect her as a human being. She's a child of God. And I could feel her disappointment when she looked away. It was like she was in some sort of despair. And I want her to wake up, because the Democrats are the problem. And it's Republicans too, to be honest with you. It's both sides of the political aisle, because people are in government to make money. A lot of times they're not looking out for the people that they represent. They're put there to do something for their constituents. But a lot of times money gets in the way, greed gets in the way, bribes, the elites, the unelected bureaucrats that run DC are in the way. And that's what Trump means by draining the swamp. But the swamp wants to stay swampy. They want to stay nasty. They got those swamp creatures digging down all in the mud, and they just having a good old nasty time. They're like, you're not getting in the way of our swamp party. They get down and dirty in the swamp, and they don't want to be cleaned up. So that's why they're going after Donald Trump so hot and heavy, lying on him, basically. I told you guys that I wanted to know the truth about Donald Trump, the Bidens, the Obamas, the Clintons, the Bushes. And it came about a year ago, when the famous iconic mugshot of Donald Trump in the Fulton County Jail. And I prayed, and God showed me that the things that they're accusing Trump of, he is not guilty of. He's being persecuted. So God doesn't lie. So the man's not guilty of all those things. Okay. And time will tell. So far the cases are falling apart. And then if someone is so evil, why are you trying to unalive that person? You know what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania? There was an attempted assassination on Donald Trump's life. By the grace of God, he moved his head in time. And then people who hate him so much are going to sit up there and say he staged his own assassination. He staged it. What? A man lost his life. Corey Compratore, the retired fire chief. I saw another angle of that video, and it was a gory scene. That was not staged. That was not staged. And I saw the hole in Donald Trump's ear at a close up when I zoomed in, and that since has been repaired, because he has the money to restructure his ear. He was already ahead in the polls. He didn't need sympathy. It was Biden who needed some help, and all the sympathy. I'm just being honest. So people hate Donald Trump so much because of the media. The media is to blame. Demonizing, instigating a fight, getting people all riled up in their feelings. They should be ashamed of themselves. And that media needs to be cleaned up so they can just report the news accurately and not demonize people. Because every time the Democrats, the demon rats, that's why I call them the demon rats, they get their hands in everything and they cause chaos wherever they go. They cause chaos. And there was something up with that attempted assassination on Donald Trump's life. There's something up with that. See my video. New evidence came out with the FBI. See it. I'm telling you, this came from the top. And if Donald Trump is the evil one, why is he not trying to take somebody out? They're trying to take him out. Historically, we've seen history is a great teacher. I keep telling you, you've got the Bible, you've got things that have happened in modern history that have shown that the person that is being attacked and targeted and attempted assassination, and unfortunately some have been assassinated, they were always against war. They were against war, or in Abraham Lincoln's case, against slavery. So when the evil powers that be, they want their more money, they're going to do something. That's what happened to JFK. That's what they tried to do to Donald Trump. He wants to clean the swamp. But some people are not going to dig deep enough to know that. They just know what the news said and what that narrative, that propaganda that was pushed without any research whatsoever. No research. All they know is, well, he said something bad about the Central Park 5 back in the 90s. That was not any kind of legislation that actually affected our lives. And we all say things and do things that may not be right. We're not perfect. Should we be condemned for every little thing that we've ever done? So I need people to get their heads out of their asses. and do some actual research. Thank you all for watching. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as I always say, march on, warriors.